The recent attention regarding Web 3.0 has been catching regulators, and that's a good thing because I can see they start listening to some good experts on this point. And it's time to pay attention to the crypto market, as it's now almost $3 trillion. This ain't no joker's money. There's no denial that crypto is more than just a pyramid scheme. The choices are simple. You either fight it and you lose out and let other countries pick up that strawberries and cream, so known as the innovation, or you enjoin it, you encourage it, and you let the innovation on your own land and be part of the biggest technological revolutions of our lifetime. Money is going to be sound through crypto. Now, China has chosen to fight it as it has another vision. China thinks it deserves to be the new world reserve currency based on its economical achievements and production output, in the hope that we will trade the digital yuan like they do the US dollar. Never heard of it before? Well, that's a good thing, because it isn't worth much, as there's no capped supply, no transparency, and full control within the issuer, the Chinese Communist Party, the Chinese Central Bank. So, what are the Western countries going to do? The talk about central bank digital currencies are a hot topic. They all want one. But does a version like the digital yuan belong into the Western world? After all, there's a big difference between a communist country and a free capitalist country like we're supposed to be. Yes, that's true, but the lines are getting blurry, and that's a concern. Are you going to fight crypto in the way you fight the virus? If they do, you might up like this Chinese form of digital currency. This is why a political vote matters. Pay attention and vote for crypto politicians, whether they're left, right, or conservative or not. Crypto stands for a choice. A central bank digital currency stands for government control. It's that simple. So will they watch by as the traditional finance is completely disrupted with this incredible technology, or are they going to join the revolution and become an early adopter of this technology? This is the multi-million-dollar question for our dinosaurs at the top. But one thing is a fact. Fiat money is dying sooner than you think. You cannot print your way forever out of this mess and not expect consequences. History has shown us the outcomes are always dramatically. Remember the Zimbabwean dollar. The way you approach this innovation and technology can have many different outcomes for us as humanity. And with that, you need to look ahead at the futuristic possibilities of our governments. But that's something we'll discuss and we'll do in some other videos. Remember, it's the visionaries and the optimists that make money, not the skeptics. Stay lose out. Buying the dip versus we are all gonna get wrecked. Our options in the financial market are shrinking. And the crypto seems to have a good track record, going up. Look at Bitcoin. In this episode, we're talking about Web 3.0 and why you should be interested in it and even invested into it. Welcome to the channel, Simon Says. In this episode, we are discussing Web 3.0. If you do like this video, then please hit me with that like and the subscribe and let me know in the comments below what you think of Web 3.0. I will start with making the argument that looking ahead is not always so obvious. In this 2-minute-old clip with none other than Mr. Bill Gates, the visionary himself, with David Letterman, they speak about the internet in 1994. It was Web 1 at the time. Now the dialogue was fascinating to say the least. Have a look at the video below.
But you know, I think about this, and what about this internet thing? Do you know anything about that?
Sure.
What the hell is that exactly?
Well, it's become a place where people are publishing information.
Right.
So everybody can have their own homepage. Companies are there, the latest information. It's wild what's going on. You can send electronic mail to people. It is the big new thing.
Yeah, but you know, it's easy to criticize something you don't fully understand, which is my position here.
Go ahead.
But I can remember a couple of months ago, there was like a big breakthrough announcement that on the internet or on some computer deal, they were going to broadcast a baseball game. You could listen to a baseball game on your computer. And I just thought to myself, does radio ring a bell? You know what I mean?
There's a difference.
There is a difference.
It's not a huge difference.
What is the difference?
But you can listen to the baseball game whenever you want.
Right.
Too.
Oh, I see. So it's stored in one of your memory deals,
Exactly.
and then you can come
That's
back
the
a year
RAM
later.
thing you talked about earlier.
Yeah. Do tape recorders ring a bell? Yeah, I just don't know. What can you, just knowing me the little you know me now, what am I missing here? What do I need?
Well, if you want to learn about the latest cigars or auto racing
Right.
Statistics.
Well, you know, I've got that covered. I subscribe to 2 British magazines devoted entirely to motorsports, and I call the Quaker State Speedline about 2 times a half hour. So now, would the computer give me more than I'm getting that way?
Oh, you can find other people who have the same unusual interests you do. And
You mean the troubled loner chat room on the internet?
absolutely.
Does Spotify ring a bell? Does YouTube ring a bell? Look, this is easy to say when you look in the rearview mirror and you know it was a mind-blowing success. It's easy, everybody can be a prophet like that. It's not so easy to call a success when it has low adoption, like Bitcoin in 2009, otherwise we'd all be millionaires. It's the user that drives the innovation. So let's start unpacking Web 3.0 and the insane potential it has, but before that we need to go back into history. History can teach us valuable lessons of how people perceived Web 1, like Gates and Letterman. Web 1 was non-interactive format where we could read and listen to information, similar like your TV, magazines and radio, except it was on demand. At that time, computers were slow and they were expensive. Smartphones didn't exist. Data was expensive, slow, and there was a limited amount of users, and with that also content. The Web 2 changed things dramatically, as the innovations now came from its users, from us. It became interactive and started crushing traditional businesses. Now you might remember the blog posts in the late 90s, early 2000s. It all started with chat boxes, electronic mails, that evolved into social media platforms. That data got cheaper, video editing got cheaper. You saw the success into more heavy data applications like video streaming, like YouTube and games. Remember that YouTube used to struggle to become profitable until Google came along. This Web 2.0 is what made YouTubers bigger than media outlets, online shops bigger than retail shops, news sites bigger than newspapers, social media platforms bigger than countries. You get the point. The world was changed. The problem with Web 2.0 was that it became too centralized. And instead of healthy competition, monopolies are crushing or buying up new players with good innovation to well-established companies like Google, Facebook, Apple, Twitter. Big tech is now in charge. The scary part is that with all this information they have, they know you better than your own wife. This is because they know what you're doing on the internet, where you walk outside, how you spend your attention and where you spend it on, where you spend your money. And this last topic, money, is very, very important because that's crypto. The struggle for this monopoly hasn't even started yet, and Facebook is set to launch its own version of the metaverse. They want to trick you into this level of convenience. They want to build it for you. They want to know you inside out, because you are their bread and butter. They use this information on a permissioned private, meaning it's a cloud somewhere at the mercy of companies like Google and Facebook, and it can be sold to the right price or even give it to the government to get political control. We are creatures of convenience and trust. We choose the easy ways, and we trust our politicians and media outlets more than our brothers, sisters and friends. Crazy, right? This turns you into a product, and they are your landlord. They can cancel you at any time. Cancel the term cancel culture. Now, Web 3.0 is about bringing ownership back to its users. But how does that work? I'm glad you asked. This can be ownership into a network that uses crypto as a medium of exchange. See it as an economy. So, when you hear people talk about layer 1 protocols like Ethereum or Elrond, what they mean is they reward you with crypto, like Ether or eGold, for providing the maintenance of that ledger. That's the computing power to the network. These tokens, whether you are a staker, a node operator, or just a user, are vital within the economy of that network. These tokens represent your stake, your contribution, your currency, and your participation into the network, which is getting cheaper and cheaper. Just like data is getting cheaper and cheaper and faster. It's that innovation of these networks that make them want to improve and turn them as fast and cheap as, like, for example, Solana. Now Elrond is busy making a very user-friendly and creator-friendly product with infinite scalability through decentralization. You can compare this relevance for that example of YouTube and Adobe Premiere Pro. The innovation of these two made YouTube and Adobe into a monster success. The easier it is and faster it is to make content, the more content you will create and upload to YouTube. And with that you get more users. It's the same as building apps on your phone. The final stage is set. There's no winners announced yet. Privacy platforms like Dusk Network want to keep your private encrypted into a regulatory way and in this growing metaverse. Privacy is also going to be a hot topic on a public ledger, as we need it. So, what are the most important issues? Speed, cheap fees, user-friendliness, compatibility, decentralization, or privacy with compliance? It's an interesting world, and it's an interesting time to research the biggest opportunity of your lifetime. Do it for your kids. I thank you for watching, and I hope you did enjoy this episode, and I hope I will see you in the next one.